Chips. Crunchy, salty, and dangerously addictive. But what if I told you that some of America's favorite brands are secretly loaded with ingredients your body doesn't even recognize? We're talking about chemicals that can mess with your heart, brain, and metabolism, all hiding behind flashy bags and baked, not fried claims. In this video, we're breaking down 7 of the most popular chips you should seriously reconsider buying, and 3 brands that actually respect your body. Stick around till the end, because once you see what's inside those bags, you'll never look at the snack aisle the same way again. Number 7. Doritos. The science of snack addiction. Let's start with the legend. Doritos, the chip that redefined snacking. They're bright, loud, and impossible to eat just one. But that's not your lack of willpower, that's science. Doritos are a carefully engineered blend of chemistry and psychology. That explosion of flavor when you take the first bite? It's a precise balance of salt, fat, and acid, all hitting the pleasure centers in your brain at once. The MSG and disodium and oxynate don't just season your food. They amplify every taste, triggering dopamine, the same feel-good chemical your brain releases when you win money or get social media likes. Then there's that famous orange dust. It's not just messy, it's memorable. Those colors, yellow 6 and red 40, are designed to make the chips look fun and visually addictive, but both are petroleum-derived dyes linked to hyperactivity in kids and inflammatory effects in adults. And don't be fooled by vegetable oil on the label. Doritos are fried in a rotating mix of corn, canola, and sunflower oils, each ultra-refined and stripped of nutrients, then reheated again and again in factories. Doritos aren't a snack. They're a carefully tuned food trap, scientifically built to keep your hand diving back into the bag, long after your body has had enough. Number 6. Pringles. The chips that are not chips. The smooth, perfectly stacked snack that defies the laws of nature. They've always stood out, and for good reason. These aren't potato chips. They're potato science. Instead of being sliced from real potatoes, Pringles start as a powdered mash of dehydrated potato flakes, cornstarch, rice flour, and emulsifiers. It's pressed into a thin paste, shaped, fried, and seasoned. Every chip an exact clone of the one before it. That uniform crunch you love? It's the sound of processed starch shattering, not a natural potato breaking apart. But here's where it gets darker. When those starches are fried at high heat, they form acrylamide, a chemical that's been flagged by researchers for its potential to increase certain health risks. And since every Pringle is cooked the same way, you're getting that exposure bite after bite. Sure, they're neat, tidy, and stackable, but that's also what makes them deceptive. You're not snacking on food. You're snacking on an industrial formula designed to feel real while being anything but. So next time you pop open that can and can't stop, remember, you're not eating potatoes. You're eating the illusion of potatoes. Number 5. Cheetos. The science of melting addiction. Let's talk about one of the most dangerously addictive snacks ever made. Cheetos. They're light, airy, and weirdly satisfying, and that's exactly the problem. Cheetos start as refined cornmeal, puffed under extreme pressure until it expands into that unmistakable crunch. Then comes the magic. A coating of artificial cheese flavor, maltodextrin, MSG, and synthetic colorants that hit every pleasure receptor at once. But here's what makes them diabolically addictive. The vanishing caloric density effect. When Cheetos melt in your mouth, your brain gets tricked into thinking you haven't eaten anything. The calories disappear, so you just keep going, handful after handful, until half the bag is gone. The orange powder that everyone jokes about? It's a chemical dye cocktail, with yellow 6 and red 40 giving it that neon color. Those same dyes have been under fire in the EU for links to attention and behavioral issues. And let's not forget the oils. Hydrogenated, reheated, and oxidized. They add shelf life but can trigger inflammation and damage cells over time. Cheetos aren't cheese, and they're not corn. They're a sensory illusion, made to dissolve fast and keep you chasing flavor that never truly satisfies. We're nearly halfway through, and if you're starting to rethink your snack shelf, you're not alone. These companies spend millions engineering addiction, not nutrition. If you care about what your friends and family are putting in their bodies, hit that like. This way you can help spread awareness. And go ahead, share this video with that one friend who always says, just one more chips. Trust me, they need to see what's coming next, because the worst offenders, they're still ahead. Number 4, Ruffles, the ridged illusion. They're iconic, ridged, and comforting, but also quietly loaded with trouble. Those ridges promise extra crunch and more flavor, but what they're really doing is holding more oil, more sodium, and more chemical additives. Take a look at the label on the popular cheddar and sour cream version. It's a mouthful of buttermilk powder, whey protein, sodium caseinate, lactic acid, MSG, and natural smoke flavor, which is anything but natural. Each serving packs up to 180 milligrams of sodium, and that's just a small handful. Most people easily double or triple that in one sitting. That greasy shine on each ridge? It's from oxidized oils that can disrupt your cholesterol levels and even affect hormone balance over time. Ruffles may feel like a classic, something that reminds you of backyard BBQs and football games, but they're really a modern processed food trap, crafted to feel nostalgic while quietly overloading your system with additives. Number 3, Takis, the stomach's worst nightmare. Now, if Doritos are engineered addiction, Takis are engineered destruction. These fiery rolled chips are a viral hit, especially among teens, but they've become a public health concern in disguise. Each roll is drenched in artificial colorants, red 40, yellow 6, citric acid, and hydrolyzed soy protein, giving that sour, spicy explosion that feels thrilling at first and painful later. Doctors have reported cases of stomach ulcers, gastritis, and acid burns in teens who snack on them daily. The citric acid and heat combine to erode the stomach lining, especially when eaten on an empty stomach. And it's not just the heat, it's the chemistry. The extreme salt levels dehydrate your body, while the processed fats and dyes put your liver and gut under stress. Takis market themselves as extreme fun, but there's nothing fun about inflammation, nausea, or emergency room visits. They're flashy, fiery, and fierce. But remember, what burns going down can leave a scar long after. Number 2, Pop Chips, the health halo trap. They've built their empire on being better for you. Not fried, not baked, just popped. But here's the secret, that's mostly a marketing trick. Pop Chips are made from a starchy blend of potato flakes, corn flour, and soy lecithin, which are blasted under intense pressure to create that light, airy crunch. Then, they're coated in artificial flavoring oils and high-sodium seasoning to give them taste, because without it, they'd be completely bland. And while they may have 50% less fat, they're still loaded with oxidized oils that your body struggles to break down. Your digestive system doesn't care how the chip was made. Once it's in your bloodstream, junk oil is still junk oil. The real danger is perception. The "not fried" label makes people eat twice as much thinking they're making a healthy choice. In reality, Pop Chips are a perfect example of how marketing can disguise junk food as wellness. So next time you see popped, not fried, remember, that's not health, that's hype. Finally, number 1, Lay's Stacks, the clone in a can. It's the smooth-talking sibling of Pringles that looks familiar, friendly, and just as fake. These chips are made from the same reconstituted potato flake paste used in Pringles, mixed with hydrogenated oils, starch binders, and salt, then fried at scorching temperatures. The result? Uniformity, convenience, and zero real nutrition. But the real issue is the illusion. Lay's is one of the most trusted brands in America, and that trust makes consumers drop their guard. The Stacks version looks premium, feels modern, and stacks neatly in a reusable can. But peel back that marketing, and you'll find a Frankenstein chip. Lab-made, not farm-grown. And like Pringles, they form acrylamides, the controversial compounds created when starches overheat. So even though they wear a trusted name, Lay's Stacks prove that familiar doesn't mean safe. And brand loyalty can be blinding. If you care about your health, you can choose one of the upcoming 3 popular chips brands. These are actually made from real potatoes, not reconstituted potato flakes or starch blends. These are still processed snacks, but they're at least made from sliced whole potatoes. Number 3. Lay's classic potato chips, the everyday real deal. Here's the surprise for many. Lay's classic potato chips, despite being one of the biggest snack brands in the world, are actually made from real potatoes. Lay's uses thinly sliced fresh potatoes that go through a quick fry in oil before being lightly salted. You can even see the natural potato shape. No molds, no pressed flakes, no mystery dough, unlike Pringles or certain crisps. The simplicity is impressive. Just potatoes, vegetable oil, and salt. That's it. No artificial coloring, no MSG, no extra preservatives. However, and it's a big however, they're fried in highly refined vegetable oils, like corn, canola, and soybean oil. Those oils can be inflammatory when consumed regularly. So while the ingredients are technically clean, the method makes them far from a health food. Still, if you're craving a true potato chip, thin, crispy, salty, Lay's is exactly that. It's the baseline that every other chip tries to mimic. Number 2. Cape Cod Kettle-Cooked Chips. East Coast crunch done right. Made in Massachusetts. Since the 1980s, these chips are famous for their perfect crunch. Thanks to their kettle-cooked process that crisps the edges while keeping the center slightly hearty. Each bag starts with whole, real potatoes, sliced thick and fried until golden. You won't find dehydrated potato powder or formed starch here. It's the real deal. Their ingredient lists stay refreshingly short: potatoes, oil, and salt. Now, to be fair, Cape Cod chips still use vegetable oils like canola or sunflower, which aren't ideal for heart health when overheated. But they don't hide behind artificial additives or lab-made flavor dust. The simplicity and balance make them one of the most authentic-tasting potato chips on grocery shelves. And for those who love a little indulgence without too much guilt, their reduced-fat version manages to keep most of the crunch and flavor with noticeably less oil. It's not healthy per se, but it's definitely a smarter compromise. Number 1. Kettle Brand Potato Chips, the rustic original. If Cape Cod is the East Coast icon, Kettle Brand is its West Coast rival. When you think of a chip that feels like it came from a real potato, Kettle Brand almost always tops the list. These chips start with actual potato slices, thick cut and kettle cooked in small batches. You can literally see the natural potato texture, the bubbles, and those slightly darker edges that prove they weren't pressed from powder. What sets Kettle Brand apart is their minimal ingredient list: potatoes, oil, and salt, sometimes with a few clean spices depending on the flavor. They've earned a reputation for being less processed than most big-name chips, and you can taste the difference. However, natural doesn't always mean healthy. Most flavors are fried in canola, sunflower, or safflower oil, which can oxidize at high heat and lose nutritional value. But among the big brands, they're still one of the few that feel truly old school, more like something you'd make in your own kitchen if you had an industrial fryer. If you want to go a step cleaner, Kettle Brand's avocado oil and Himalayan salt lines are the ones to look for. They're lighter, less greasy, and a small step closer to a genuinely wholesome snack. We have 3 bonuses for you. Not all snacks are evil. Some are proof that you really can have your crunch and keep your health too. Because sometimes, the right swap doesn't mean giving something up. It just means choosing the version made by people who still care about real food. Bonus number 3. Jackson's Sweet Potato Chips. Jackson's sweet potato chips are what happens when a classic snack grows up and gets an oil upgrade. Instead of cheap, unstable seed oils, these beauties are cooked in 100% avocado oil, rich in monounsaturated fats that actually support heart health instead of clogging it. And here's the kicker. Avocado oil can handle higher heat without turning rancid, meaning what you're tasting is clean flavor, not burnt oil. The sweet potatoes themselves bring more to the table than crunch. They're naturally packed with fiber, antioxidants like beta-carotene, and a hint of earthy sweetness that doesn't need a sugar coating. Every bite feels hearty, satisfying, and real, not hollow or overseasoned. It's that perfect middle ground between indulgence and intention, something that actually fuels your body and hits your craving for crunch. If you want to snack smart without feeling like you're missing out, Jackson's is the kind of bag you can open guilt-free and actually feel good about finishing. Bonus number 2. Banana Plantain Chips. Now this one right here is a total game changer. Banana plantain chips flip the script on what chips even mean. They start with organic, sustainably sourced plantains, nature's starch-packed cousin to bananas, and cook them in coconut oil, not the cheap industrial blends that dominate supermarket shelves. The result are chips that's crisp and light, but still rich enough to satisfy your salty cravings. You won't find any artificial colors, chemical flavor boosters, or hydrogenated oils here. Just real ingredients that crunch like the classics, but leave your stomach feeling calm instead of coated. Each handful delivers natural potassium, fiber, and clean carbohydrates that give you steady energy, not that greasy crash most snacks bring. And that lime flavor? It's the kind of zing that makes your mouth water. Fresh, tangy, and borderline addictive in the best way. They're chips that transport you. One bite and you're at a beach shack somewhere, not hunched over a vending machine. Banana proves that real food doesn't need to be boring. It can be fun, flavorful, and actually good for you. Finally, bonus number 1, Siete grain-free tortilla chips. Now this is the one that changes everything. The Siete grain-free tortilla chips aren't just another healthy version, they're the upgrade snack lovers have been waiting for. Made from cassava and coconut flour, these chips are completely grain-free, gluten-free, and soy-free, which means no mystery starches or filler flours that leave you bloated or sluggish. They're fried in avocado oil, so every crisp bite delivers clean fats your body can actually use for energy, not store as inflammation. No corn, no seed oils, no chemical nacho dust, just a few simple ingredients that creates chips so satisfying you might forget it's better for you. And it's not just about ingredients. Siete was built by a real family with Mexican roots, creating recipes inspired by traditional food that everyone could enjoy, even those with food sensitivities. You can taste that care in every chip. Light, crispy, flavorful, and made for sharing. If you've been trying to escape the processed snack cycle without losing your favorite crunch, this is your golden ticket. Think of it as the Dorito reimagined by people who actually care about your health. So there you have it. 7 snack time favorites that are quietly undermining your health, and 3 options plus top 3 bonuses that prove you don't have to give up crunch to eat cleaner. We're not here to bash any brand. Our goal is simple: to help you stay informed, make smarter choices, and truly understand what you're putting into your body. Because when you know better, you shop better, and ultimately, you live better. Next time you're standing in the snack aisle, remember, what looks classic might actually be cleverly engineered to keep you hooked. Your best defense isn't skipping snacks altogether. It's knowing which ones actually deserve your trust. And if you found this video helpful, tap that like, share it with someone who still thinks chips are harmless, and subscribe so you never miss another Smart Shopper breakdown. If you want to keep leveling up your grocery game, don't stop here. You need to see our video on 5 milk brands to avoid at all costs, and 3 that are actually safe to buy. It's a deep dive into what's really inside your fridge, and trust me, some of those healthy labels will shock you. And for those who want to save money while cutting out overpriced junk, stay tuned for our next video.